Assalamualaikum. Most divorced men are not heartbroken. They are emotionally addicted, and almost none of us want to admit it. I know this because I was that man. On the outside, I look fine, still going to work, still cracking jokes with my brothers, still functioning like a responsible adult. But inside, I was collapsing quietly. No one saw this. By the end of this video, you will understand the one emotional mistake that keeps so many good men trapped for years after divorce, and the quiet shift that finally lets you breathe again without needing another human being to validate your existence. Okay, before we go deeper, do this for yourself. Go and download the Muslim Man Review Playbook. Because when a man loses his emotional direction, he doesn't need another motivation speech. He needs a structure. Now, listen carefully. There was a phase after my divorce where the silence in the house felt violent. The furniture was still in the same place, the same prayer mat folded in the corner. Everything looked normal, but the life had been sucked out of it. I would come home, close the door, and the quiet would hit me like a wave. That's when the real danger began. Not the divorce itself, but what I did next. I started replaying. Late at night, I would sit on the edge of the bed, scrolling through old photos like a man trying to resurrect something already dead. I would read old messages, replaying the laughters in my head, replaying the arguments, replaying the moments when I felt wanted, chosen, alive. I told myself I was processing. Well, I was lying to myself. I was actually feeding an addiction. And this is the part nobody talks about openly with men. Many of us were not grieving the woman anymore. We were actually grieving the version of ourselves that existed through her. The feeling of being needed, the daily validation, the identity of the husband, the man she chose, the protector. When that disappeared overnight, something deeper cracked. I started questioning my worth as a man, my masculinity, my value as a father. Well, my entire future. That was a real wound because once your emotional stability is tied to another human being, fear moves in. What type of fear, you ask? Well, it's a fear of never being enough again, fear of being alone forever, fear of rejection, fear of starting over. And fearful men do things that later cost them their dignity, such as begging for answers, over explaining, breaking their own boundaries, and chasing closure that never comes. I did all of it. So one night after Isha prayers, I sat on the floor completely exhausted. No energy left to pretend, and no appetite. My mind was racing, but my body felt heavy. In that moment of total emptiness, a single thought hit me harder than anything else. If she came back tomorrow, would I even respect the man I have become? The answer came instantly. No, because long before the papers were signed, I had already abandoned myself. I had stopped leading my own mind, stopped guarding my peace, stopped running back to Allah like a man who truly knows his Lord. I had become emotionally reactive instead of spiritually grounded. Divorce didn't break me. It only exposed what was already weak inside. And strangely, that was the beginning of my turning point. Because in that low moment, a powerful realization settled over me. She was never supposed to carry the weight of my emotional identity. Only Allah can hold that place safely. Look, humans change, humans disappoint, and humans will leave. Allah does not. That truth didn't heal me overnight. It happened slowly, painfully, one stubborn day at a time. So I stopped. I stopped obsessing over closure. I stopped emotionally stalking the past. I stopped waiting for her or anyone to make me feel whole again. Instead, I turned to structure like a drowning man grabs a rope. I protected my 5 daily prayers like my life depended on it. Well, because it did. I returned to the Quran with discipline, not just emotion. Yes, of course, going to the gym, sleeping early, sleeping longer hours, then doing work, silence, boundaries, simple routines I could control. Well, not for social media, not to look strong, but because structure stabilizes a shattered man faster than any feeling ever will. And slowly, something inside began to shift. The memories were still there, the pain didn't vanish, but they stopped owning me. That, brother, I was saying, is is a real healing, not forgetting the past, but refusing to let it control your present. Some men stay emotionally trapped for 5, 10, even 15, 20 years. Not because they still love her, but because they never rebuilt the man who collapsed. They kept their emotional center tied to a ghost. That cannot be you. Allah did not put you through this fire so you could remain weak, bitter, directionless, and emotionally unstable. This pain is a brutal mercy. Yes, of course, it is exposing exactly what needs to be rebuilt: your discipline, your emotional control, your leadership, your relationship with Allah, your standards as a man. This is your rebuild season. So let me recap this clearly for you. The biggest mistake most divorced men make is turning another human being into the source of their own emotional stability. That attachment becomes addiction, and addiction destroys masculine clarity and dignity. The solution is simple, but not easy. Return your emotional center back to Allah, the only one who never leaves. Then rebuild your life through ruthless structure and discipline. No more emotional chasing, validation hunting. No more living in fantasies of what was. So structure, yes, structure protects a grieving man like you and the old me from self-destruction. If this reached you and hits you, what about you subscribe and share it with another brother who needs it, and download the Muslim and Reboot Playbook from the description. It's built for exactly this reason. And comment below with honesty, what was the hardest emotional truth you had to accept after your divorce? I read every comment. You're not alone in this.